Hey guys, Nick here, and yeah, I wasn't really sure how to open this video. Today we're going to be working on like this isn't a regular sky map video, but today we are going to be working on this a little more. Um and it's one of those side videos where I just talk about stuff. This time we are talking about my crazy nightmare semester. So, let's get to it. So, start of semester was in late August, around like August 20th or something. And it was a bit of a transition at first, but it was kind of okay. I was doing well in my classes for the first 2 weeks. And then suddenly, I kind of fell off one of them. I don't know what exactly happened, but I was just not doing as great with the material anymore. And I wasn't doing great in the class. So, yeah, this caused a couple problems. Which actually ended up resulting in me changing majors now. I am no longer going into accounting because genuinely this has been torturous. First of all, my classes this semester were kind of nightmarish. I liked a couple of them, but a lot of them this semester were just not great. And genuinely, I'm not sure if with some of the career paths I have in mind, I'm not sure if I want to go back to college. So it's one of those things where you kind of just, I don't really know how to describe it. You just kind of don't want to bother anymore. And it's like, yeah, sometimes I know a lot of you are like, well, sometimes my classes give me trouble, but I've never wanted to quit. And it's like, good for you, but like, that's not what's going on here. What's going on for me is a little different. It's the fact that every single day feels like this. Like, every single day I just felt awful in my accounting classes. Every other class, especially when you realize, like, it's only the accounting classes that's giving you trouble. That's it. Yeah, I also, in this video, I should mention, I plan on telling you guys how to avoid what happened with me. Because it's actually a pretty simple thing to avoid. So yeah, start of the semester, I'm taking 5 classes. I've got intermediate accounting, or not intermediate, yeah, intermediate accounting. Yeah, I didn't mess up. I've got ethics, which was the best class I took this whole semester. Loved ethics. Very fun. And then I had, what was it? I had income tax accounting, which already is just a huge ugh. And then, finally, I had, I had economics and I had psychology. Which Psychology was fine. Economics was fine for the most part. Like, nothing too terrible happened. It's just that it's mostly the accounting classes. Also, sorry if I take like long pauses. My throat hurts a little bit. So yeah, those were the classes I was taking at the beginning of the semester. Now, ethics was the best class of my entire semester, and it was a short class. It was half a semester, and that really upset me because I was really enjoying the class. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do, really? Now, class was rolling, and then very early on, I realized, about halfway through the semester, that I knew I wanted to change majors at the beginning of the semester, but one thing I didn't anticipate was wanting to drop a class. Um, like, I ended up dropping the income tax accounting class because it was pretty dang torturous. Um, and another reason was my grades were slipping in that class. And I didn't want that to negatively affect my GPA, so I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna drop this class and hope for the best. And I had like 0 negative effects on my GPA, which was a good thing because I was pretty likely to fail that class. And meanwhile, while intermediate accounting sucked, like it sucked. I hated that class so much. I was still able to do it. I was still able to complete that class. I was still able to finish the course. And I actually got I got a B, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, so if you guys are wondering what exactly caused me to want to change majors, once again, misery, just stuff like that, you know? So, yeah, I'm miserable in this one accounting class because I wasn't failing it. I decided not to drop it because I heard that would potentially negatively affect my GPA. And I was like, great, you know what? I'll just stay in this class. Why not? So I didn't end up dropping it. Huge mistake, by the way. Huge, absolutely, like, disgustingly large mistake. Um, the class ended up being really bad. I still hated it, and there wasn't really much I could do, which made it suck even more. So I'm going through college with classes that I'm able to do quite well in, and a class where I basically just want to rip my hair out. So not great. Also, keep in mind, I'm going to a community college. Now, if you're wondering how to avoid this problem, like I could have really easily done, I recommend seeing a career counselor. To some of you, it might be like, I don't want help. Get seriously, you will waste. I wasted probably over like 2 grand on college now. I've probably wasted more than 2 grand in my college experience. Go see a career counselor so that you don't do the same. Because now I wasted, yeah, I had to have been, I've wasted about 2 grand uh, at community college, keep in mind, on a degree that I didn't even end up getting. So yeah, I'd really recommend seeing a career counselor. That way you know for sure that whatever career you're going into is something you want to do. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Like, you are genuinely doing nothing but wasting your time. Like, see a career counselor. And also, for those of you who are like, oh, I did this, like, did these programs in school, still go see a career counselor. It can be helpful. Like, it can be very helpful to see a career counselor. That way you know for sure. You never know if, like, if something changed. Like, nothing's necessarily going to change, but I'd recommend it just because, you know, you can avoid this. And that's what I'm trying to get people to do. I'm trying to get people to avoid what happened to me because it was pretty bad. But anyway, what's next? Oh yeah, nightmare stuff. So, with the whole career counselor thing, my mom then decided to ask me, are you going to college the next semester? And I said, probably not. I am probably going to take a break just to figure some stuff out. And then she told me that if I was going to do that, I would have to get another job, which is fair. Like, she doesn't want me to just loaf around the house for 9 months. I get it. However, this was, this was a big oof. I found a job pretty quickly that I wanted, and, the hiring process took a very, very long time, and it's still, like, even recently, I know I have the job now, but it's still, like, it's still been biting me in the butt a little bit. It is persistently biting me in the butt here. And you might be thinking, well, how is that? How is that a thing that's happening? Well, simply put, yeah, I had to like go to a doctor's appointment because I'm working at my old elementary school, and I had to go to a doctor's appointment. Now, this they didn't send the doctors any information. Like they did, but it was a bit disorganized, and um they didn't know exactly what the school wanted. They were like, did the school want a drug test? And I was like, no. And they were like, huh, that's weird. And I was like, I'm with you there, man. Because I'm only like half working for them. Um, I'm only half working for them, so it's not. Uh, I'm not going to be working there long enough for me to cause problems with, you know, with like drugs or anything. So yeah, they didn't care. Everyone at the doctor's office was like really nice though, and I really appreciated that because that was the first time I had really like adulted. So yeah. Now, career counselor stuff. this was. Oh shoot! I just remembered I have to check my email today for some of that stuff. Oops. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Now, the career counseling shenanigans was kind of weird because between doing classes that I hated and all this other stuff, I was kind of having trouble finding the time for anything. And yeah, it was a mess. It was a whole mess. Um, and the problem is, it was a very sudden mess. It was just thrown at me. So yeah, and then I had one pretty big issue that came up. It came up like big recently, which was I haven't worked on the Pokemon anime series in a bit. So yeah, that's a thing. Uh, I'm kind of back on it now. Um, but yeah, I had to end up taking a pretty long break from it, which was it was annoying having to do that, but it's whatever, you know? So yeah, break from the Pokemon anime series. What could go wrong there? Well, a couple of things. I'm keeping better track of the story, but it's still hard to keep track of a long story like this. And also, college, it's not fun to work on this really artsy thing when accounting is just always there. They're all. Ugh, my teachers just wanted me to keep counting those numbers, but it's. Yeah, so that was nightmarish. And between all that, I was getting pretty stressed. School, work, trying to get another job. Surprisingly, working was the least of my problems. Um, and then I heard about like how one of my coworkers, we go to the same college, and like she was procrastinating a lot, and I was like, "Girl, how you got time to procrastinate? How do you have time for that?" And meanwhile, this whole time, my mom is still like on my butt about all of this. Like, you gotta go, you gotta do this. Come on. And it's like, Mom, give me some time here, please. Like, give me, give me like 5 seconds to breathe. It was a whole mess. But yeah. Meanwhile, YouTube stuff is happening. I'm having a decent enough time. Certain other events transpired that were less than desirable. The sickness aspect of everything kind of seemed to want to wait till after I was done working, to which I think it. Um, because I am currently on my break for Christmas. Which, oh yeah, that was another thing, Christmas shopping. I was very busy at the time, and I was like, how am I going to do this? But thankfully, my mother was able to take me Christmas shopping, and I've bought everything now. I have everything bought. It's almost all wrapped. I'm waiting on an order to arrive, but it's almost all wrapped. But yeah, meanwhile, I was also doing game club, which only reason I lived this semester. Only reason I was able to get through this whole semester because that really took the edge off. Um, maybe that's not the best terms, but like you get the idea, right? That that made everything feel good, you know? Like Game Club made me feel good about myself and thus allowed me to keep doing everything, got me through the semester, and now, as of recording this, I've just finished up finals yesterday. I took my final test, and yeah. But like, why were this is another thing I wanted to talk about. Why were the classes so bad? Well, uh, psychology was fine, ethics was fine. Spreadsheets was bad because it was like you're not really learning much. You're not able to learn by doing, which is the best way for me to learn. And it was very tough to pay attention because afternoon classes, you know. So yeah, it was very tough for me to pay attention. I had a lot of problems, just in general. Hence, dropped that class. Ethics was fine. Psychology was fine. Then there's economics, which I did do. I was a responsible little boy and did all of my student surveys. I mentioned this in the economics one, which was just there was very little difference between a test and an assignment. Because the assignments were like, uh, they were the exact same as the tests. There was practically no difference. Um, so yeah, that was just a whole thing. And that was infuriating, by the way. Having a test be the exact same as an assignment it's kind of infuriating. Like, because now you've you've got two things to be stressed about. And by the way, yes, they were the exact same, except for the fact that one was on paper and um one was digital. The tests were digital. Tests actually felt better than the assignments because it was like it's almost a choice. You don't have to fully know everything. You just have to like you can guess on some of these. So yeah, it just felt a little better to do the tests than the assignments, which that's weird. That shouldn't that shouldn't necessarily be a thing. And I get it, like make college a little easier, but yeah. And then finally was the homework for accounting and the tests. The tests and the homework for accounting. I could almost never do one of those accounting tests, or not tests, one of those accounting assignments without the help of the teacher. And anytime I did, it was torture. Like, it was, oh my god, it was so bad. Like, dude, it was hard to do. Without the help of a teacher, it was so much more difficult for a lot of reasons. And as a matter of fact, the teacher herself hated some of the questions on those assignments. I would show her a question, she'd be like, "Oh, I don't like this one," and you'd be like, "Well, do you still have to? Do you still have to do it? Yeah, you're still gonna do it." And I was like, Why is this like this? Why are we doing these questions that you yourself clearly hate?" Um. So yeah, that was just a whole thing there. And then the tests didn't feel great either, because the whole time you're just like, you're just there. You're not really, like, the whole time you're having trouble on the tests, you're having trouble on the assignments. It's never, that class never felt very great. I never felt very cared for in that class, and honestly, fair enough, I guess. But yeah, it was one of those things that was just like, oh man, like this class could have been this class could have been not awful. Um, if I had like actual in-class practice time or in-class homework time, which we got eventually, and it was like 10 minutes unless you stayed after class, which almost no one did. I did because I had to, otherwise I would scream for hours. So, yeah, that was a whole thing. Um, but yeah, what else? Hmm. At one point I wanted to try working on an art project and I couldn't even do that. Like I was not only busy with various meetings, various like emailings. It was so hard to do like anything for myself this semester. Uh but then post election results, certain things made my parents feel like, hey, you wanted to buy a new computer, now's the time to do it. Because uh, because of economic reasons, with the election results, a lot of electrical appliances will likely become a lot more expensive. I probably shouldn't be talking about my election opinions, but you know what? Too late. We're already doing it. Sorry, YouTube. Yeah, it's just like certain electrical stuff would become a little bit more expensive because tariffs. Um, Hence, we decided to buy a new computer a year in advance of when I was going to do well, not a year, but like several months in advance of when I was originally going to do it. So thanks a lot, politicians. You sped up the process of me getting a new computer. That's not much of a thanks a lot. I feel pretty pretty odd right now. I don't know how I feel. That was the whole thing I had to process um, in November when everything sucked. Yeah, in early December, not early, but during finals week is what I meant to say. I had to actually go up to my mom and I was like, okay, every now and then you come to me, you tell me, hey, you should get the ball rolling on this. This week I cannot do that. I am a little busy. So please do not pester me to get stuff done this week. I'm working on everything else. She was very understanding. It was very nice of her, but it was one of those things that I felt bad that I had to say. Um, so yeah, I hope all your semesters have gone well. I hope all your finals are just over and you guys can just be done for a bit until it's almost January as the time this comes out, I guess. So, hmm. But yeah, it was such a long semester. I just wanted to rant about that for a minute. And now I feel slightly better. Now that I have it all laid out on the floor. Um, was there anything else that happened during the semester that made me like a little bit stressed? There was a lot last semester. I guess there's this one video that Ryan and I are working on right now, but it's like Ryan is having his problems at the moment, which is causing me a couple problems with making the video. It was a Pokemon playthrough challenge. I had to take a break because Ryan is unable to play the game. Yeah, now with everything kind of fixed and ready to go, I am finally feeling kind of at peace. Until today, when earlier I got an email saying, "Hey, are you here?" And I was like, "What? What has happened?" Oh my god, oh my god, I did make a meeting for today, and I felt really bad because I wasted her time. We were able to reschedule though, so that's good. Actually, I don't know if. Okay, well, we'll figure that out later. I can't figure that out during a recording. I'm working on building this really cool lake. I can't be too worried about all of that right now. Although my mom's gonna berate me about it later. Yeah, everything has been kind of crazy for the past few months. But now, finals are done. All my classes are done for the semester. I can finally take a short break. Maybe finally I can start reading the Heroes of Olympus series again, because I started reading it at the end of last summer. Was not able to fully get into it because my library was having issues. I kept putting the book on hold, and they never emailed me when it came in, and I was still having problems. I'm still having problems with my library. How is this happening? Oofda. Everything's been kind of crazy. Um, but hopefully things will start to calm down now, and I can start focusing a little bit more on content, which is something I've wanted to do for a while now. I've wanted to focus on my content for a while. So yeah, hopefully we can really get the ball rolling on all this stuff. Um, but yeah. Once again, if you want to avoid what happened with me, career counseling. Just get some career counseling, and you should be fine for the most part. And if you wonder what that entails, it's really nice, nice stuff. It's just like, hey, yeah, what are you, what are your interests? Where do you see yourself? What's? They basically ask you what your deal is, and then give you like a million questions. And after those million questions, you do have a better understanding of where you want to be at in life. I'm not done with mine yet. Yeah, I just recommend doing that. Make sure, if you think you are on the right path, make sure you are. It's just, like, it's genuinely really helpful. See if your school has any sort of career counseling stuff. Um, for those of you leaving high school, because genuinely super helpful. How did I get almost none of this done? um, yeah, genuinely, just do your best out there, everybody. Like, no one's asking you to be perfect. Just do your best. Don't say that you'll figure it out. Just, like, actually look into some stuff. Maybe try new things. But yeah, genuinely, career counseling has been super helpful because now I have some sort of idea of what I want to do with my life rather than accounting. But yeah, and of course, I do still want to do this all the time. So, uh, like, once again, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe because then I can do this more. I can build more cool stuff that is a lot like this really cool lake, which I had to actually restock on dirt to start working on in this video. So, uh, yeah. Also, guys, the whole Ryan thing, it's just I'm just giving him a hard time in this video. He's still great. Ryan doesn't have to do the video with me. He's excited. Like he's excited to work on it, but like uh it's a very differently formatted video for him. And he's figuring it out. Kinda like I am right now. So yeah. I'm willing to give him some time. I actually started working on another video. Different Pokemon video. While he does that, so yeah, Ryan, take your time. Do what you need to do, you know? Um, yeah. I think I think that's it for this one. Just gonna finish that. Alright, so yeah, guys, yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about. So yeah, guys, that's gonna end this video here. If you enjoyed it, remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, share this video with everyone you know and love. Good luck figuring out all your guys' stuff too. If you have any questions for me about that, leave them in the comments. Uh, and yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!